Hey, welcome back for part 2 of my initial setup video. So in the first part, we downloaded Ubuntu Mate, burned it onto a thumb drive and installed it on the hard drive, and then did all the initial configuration. In this second part, we're going to download the actual applications that I need to do the video production for this channel, and those applications are Inkscape, GIMP, Audacity, and Kdenlive. So let's get into it. Alright, so visually everything's set up. This is kind of how I want it to look for my production machine. Now I need to install some software. First thing I'm going to do is install Chromium and get rid of Firefox. I just don't like Firefox. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but I much prefer Chromium. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to show you something in software here. If we go out to software and search for Chromium, well, you see Chromium in here, right? And looks like that's a good one to install. Now the problem with this one is if you look at it, it is from the Snap store. Now snaps are a kind of a way to distribute applications, and it's actually great. Snaps are great, but there's an issue with the Snap version of Chromium that when you try to create desktop icons, in Chromium you can go out and choose any web page and set it as a web application and have it show up on your desktop. There's an issue with that in the current Snap version of Chromium. So I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to go out to Synaptic and I'm going to use this other version, and this other version actually is a regular installer that installs it on your machine, and that one does not have issues with the desktop icons. So Chromium browser, I'm going to select this, mark for installation, and apply that. All right, now that that is done, I'm going to go in and find Firefox, and I'm going to get rid of Firefox. Okay, so now Firefox is out and Chromium is in. So I'm going to drag a link down to my dock here. Just reorganize that stuff. Okay. So that's that. So now I need to install some software. First thing I'm going to install is Inkscape. This is a free vector drawing program, and this is what I use to make my logo and just all kinds of graphics for my channel. And there it is. Now, if you'll notice, this one is also a snap, but I haven't had any issues with this. And snaps are easier to deal with, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab this snap. All right, while that's going, I'm also going to do a look for GIMP, which is the next thing I want to install. GIMP is a photo editor. It's an alternative to Photoshop. It's not really a replacement. It's not quite as feature-rich as Photoshop, but it runs on Linux, Windows, and Mac. I use it all the time. I'm just very used to it. This is also a snap, and it's actually a more recent version than if you were to go out and install, do the normal traditional installer on the machine. So we're going to go out and grab that. And while that's going, next thing I want to do is look for Audacity. So coming into this installed area, you can kind of see a status of your software. Okay, so I should have Inkscape, yeah, GIMP, and Audacity, good. Now the last thing I want to install is Kdenlive, and Kdenlive is a really pretty feature-rich video editor. All right, so I think I'm going to get this one from Synaptic as well, because it looks like that's kind of a development version. Now there's going to be an issue when we go into Kdenlive where it's not going to have the theme of our operating system. I won't go into the details for that, but it's really designed for KDE that has a completely different Windows manager, uses something called the Plasma desktop. So the themes that we have in Mate don't apply to that, but I'll show you how to get around that and set up a dark theme that looks similar to the Arc Dark that we set up on this on our machine here. All right, so Kdenlive is installed, and before I show you how to fix it, let me show you the problem I was just talking about. So when we go into Kdenlive, it starts up just fine, but the theme does not match our dark theme. Now you can make it look better by going to Style and then choosing this Fusion. So that looks a little better. It at least makes it all white and takes away, you know, the splotchy gray. But if we want to make this dark, we need to install a theme. Right now, it's just the default theme, but we can easily fix that. If we go back into Synaptic, and we just need to install a KDE style. So if we do KDE-style, and then we can hit that, there's a few different styles here. Now this Breeze one is going to have a Breeze dark theme that looks similar to the Arc theme. So if we mark that for installation, and now when we go back into Kdenlive, we can go into Settings, Theme, and choose this Breeze Dark, and then we got our dark theme. So now we have everything set up visually. We have all the software we need, and I am ready to create content for this channel on this machine. Again, I may have mentioned this before, but I have another much more powerful machine also running Linux that I may do some of the content creation on, but the majority of it is going to be on this machine that we're setting up in this video. Either way, it's all going to be done in Linux, 100% Linux content creation for this channel. So the last thing, this is not something I need, but it's something I like, so I'm going to install it, and this is totally just for fun. So let me go out here to Mate Tweak. Mate comes with a few different Windows managers. There's basically, well, two. There's Marco and then different modes for Marco, and then Compiz. Compiz lets you do a lot of kind of interesting effects. And one thing that I really like is wobbly windows. It's completely pointless, but I just like, I don't know, it kind of adds something to my computer use. So first thing I'm going to do is go out to Synaptic again. And again, this is completely optional, matter of preference. I'm going to look for Compiz, and then there should be the configuration setting manager, which is right here. All right, so now that that is applied, we can go into here and change the Windows manager to Compiz. Now, you can usually just get away with a log off and log back on to start using it, but I'm going to do a full reboot and then show you how to turn on the wobbly windows once we do the reboot. All right, so here we are rebooted, and as you can see, Docky is running because we added it to the startup application, so it started automatically. Compiz is running, although things don't look any different and looks exactly like it did before. But if we go into Compiz config setting manager, now look for wobbly windows. So normally when you move windows around, it just looks like any other operating system. It just moves around. But if you turn on wobbly windows, ooh, pretty. So again, completely pointless, but you know, it just adds a little extra flair, makes it a little fun. So right now, this machine is completely set up. I have all the software I need. It's set up visually how I want it, and I'm ready to create all the content for this channel. So there we go. The machine is all set up to do video production for this channel. I'm either going to be using this one or another machine that's a little bit more powerful that I have that's also running Linux. And all the content is going to be about Linux and created on Linux for this channel. So hopefully you'll subscribe and come see what I have planned. I got a bunch of tutorials and some other goodies coming up pretty soon. And I hope to see you then. Come see me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And check out my other channel, Eevnos, where I do tech reviews and tutorials. So I'll see you in the next video.